Morning, Abotai. So with regards to tonight is Lil Chag HaShavuot, one of the most significant nights of the year. The Zohar HaKadosh writes that anybody who participates in the Tikkun Lil Shavuot doesn't sleep at all on Lil Shavuot and stays up all night learning the Tikkun. HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes with all of the Malachim and Shamayim. He gathers them and he shows them Am Yisrael, and he's so proud of them. And he says, look at Am Yisrael, look what they do. They're Mekadeshim Shamayim. The Zohar HaKadosh says that everybody who's there is inscribed B'Sefer HaZikaron, in the book of remembrance, L'chaim Tovim Shalom. So it's a wonderful night to be zochet to many great things. So it's obviously known that different communities, Am Yisrael, do different things on this night. The minhag of Sfaradim, Ve'aidot HaMizrach, has been for many generations, from time immemorial, to study the Tikkun Leil Shavuot. If you take some machzorim have it, it's a separate machzor that says Kriyei Moed, Leleil Chag HaShavuot. Over there, you'll see portions of Tanakh, Torah, Nevi'im, Uchtuvim, Taryag Mitzvot, Gemarot, and Zohar that have to do with Matan Torah, Idra Rabbah, Idra Zotah. There's a lot to do. Now, even though a person may not understand everything he's learning, but this was the Seder Limud that was made by the Ari HaKadosh himself, which he studied himself, and Maran Achidah writes that all of the Mekubalim and all of the great Chachamim of the Sfaradim always did that. So even if a person might be tempted, says, I don't understand so much, and it makes me tired, whatever it is best to stick to the Tikkun as much as possible and for as long as possible. If a person feels that he's that he's restless, falling asleep, not stimulated, whatever it is, then he can learn other things on this night as well. Kabbalistically, a person's not supposed to learn Mishnayot on the night of Shavuot, but that's a different story. Also, the Ben Ish Chai writes that the minhag is that women do not participate in Tikkun Leil Shavuot, as opposed to Hosha'ana Rabbah, where women are encouraged to, he says. However, Tikkun Leil Shavuot, Kabbalistically, women should not participate. They should stay home and sleep. That's with regards to that. Now, throughout Leil Shavuot, a lot of people have the minhag to eat a little bit, to drink, just to keep them up, to give them koach, refreshments. The halacha is, Maran Zichron Livracha brings in Chazon Ovadia Yom Tov, as well as in Yechavedat, the halacha is that on Leil Shavuot, when you make, let's say you're making various brachot on refreshments, mizonot, ha'etz, ha'adama, she'akol, whatever it is, as long as you do not exit the building, which means even if you go from room to room, you go to the restroom, whatever it is, if you do not exit the building, one beracha rishona suffices for the entire night. Because as long as you didn't make a shinui makom, and you're not done drinking or eating whatever it is for the entire night, all you need to do is make one bracha all night long. That's it. That's with regards to bracha rishona. If you leave, that's a different story. Once you leave the entrance of the building and you come back, then you'd have to make new brachot, but barring that, just one bracha. That is not the halacha with regards to bracha achrona. With regards to after blessings, that's not the halacha. If a person thinks, I'll make one bracha achrona, ala mechia, nefashot, ala eitz, whatever it is, at the end of the night, to cover everything I ate or drank the entire night, that's incorrect. It does not work that way. Rather, brachot achanonot have a time limit, which means until a person digests the food, which is, the Shulchan Aruch says, until the amount of time that a person gets hungry or thirsty again for the same food. Depending on how much a person ate or drank, will determine how long that is. So therefore, here's the question. Let's say a person's eating or drinking throughout the night, and now he's not done for the night, but he's done for now. Now he's concerned that in his mind, if I don't make the bracha chanuna now, I might forget it, and I might lose it, I might lose the time limit. So what do? I want to make the bracha chanuna now. Whether it's, let's say, nefashot on something you're eating, or you drank some water and whatever, and then you want to continue drinking coffee, fine, you make the bracha chanuna. Question is, after you make the bracha chanuna, what happens if, let's say, a person drank water, and now he's done for now, or a person ate fruits or vegetables, whatever it is, and he wants to make a nefashot, and he's done for now, he wants to eat a little bit more later. But now he makes a nefashot, but now as soon as he's done the nefashot, he wants to continue drinking a cup of coffee. He wants to continue drinking a cup of tea that's still in front of him. He's not done with that. Does the bonei nefashot sever the bracha rishona that he made before? This is a tremendous machloket poskim achanunim. Maran Zichron Livracha in Chazon Ovadia Brachot holds that since you're only making the bracha in order to save yourself from losing the bracha acharona, it's not considered a severance, and you do not lose your bracha rishona on the other things. And even if it's the same food, let's say a person was eating some fruit, he was eating fruits or melons or whatever it is, and now he's done for now. But he wants to make a nefashot now, and then continue eating some fruit later. You don't have to be in continuous eating mode all night long. He's done for now, and wants to continue soon. But but he doesn't want to lose the bracha achrona, so he makes a nefashot on the melon, he makes a nefashot on the fruit, whatever it is. The halacha is later, when he wants to eat some more, continues to eat that same fruit without a bracha. Even for the same fruit, it doesn't sever it, since over there you're only doing it to protect yourself from losing the bracha achrona and not to make a heseh hadat, an interruption from what you were eating and drinking before, although it's a machloket, halacha berura. Agon Cham David Yosef disagrees with his father on this halacha. Nevertheless, Maran Zichron Livracha and Chazon Ovadia says, Safek Brachot Le'akil dictates that a person should do as we said before. That's with regards to that. Also, tomorrow morning, many members of Am Yisrael, since we're up all night anyway, have the minhag to pray Tfilat Shacharit B'Netzach Hama. It's important to make sure that although we're up all night, that Shacharit and Musaf don't pay the price for our fatigue, which means that a person has to be irani, a person has to try to pray Shacharit and Musaf with excitement, with hitlahavut, with a lot of energy, and not just, to go through the motions and just try to get home, because that is, Shacharit and Musaf is the time of Kabbalat Torah. Just an interesting thing to end off with. Agon Rav Eliashiv was asked one time, he was doing Bikur Cholim, he was going to visit some sick people on Erev Shavuot. And a person who was sick asked him, when he went to visit him, he asked him, Rebbe, the Midrash says that every year on Chag HaShavuot, it's like we receive the Torah anew. It's like we receive the Torah brand new. So he says, just like at Matan Torah, the Midrash tells us that all of Am Yisrael were healed from all of their ailments. Anybody who was sick, anybody who was handicapped, anybody who was blemished, everybody got healed at Matan Torah at Har Sinai. So he says, if that's the case, when do we get healed, or when should we at least pray for refuah shlema on Chag HaShavuot? Because it's a day, if it reoccurs, so when do we pray? Rav Eliashiv alav shalom stopped to think for a moment, and he said during Kriyat Torah. During Kriyat Torah, not necessarily verbally because you have to listen to the Kriyah, but during Kriyat Torah, which is the time that we envision ourselves around Har Sinai, receiving the Torah, a person should mentally pray for all of the things that he needs, for refuah, and for banim tzaddikim, and for shalom bayit, and for all the things that he has, because that's the ma'amad Har Sinai that we're zochetu every single year. So thank you for listening, and Chag Sameach, tizku l'shanim rabot, na'imot v'tovot.